Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and this is my full review for the NextBit Robin. So I'm going to start this review with my cons, and this won't be a long video, and then I'll move gradually to the things that I like about the phone and how it's been treating me over time. So this phone has a 5.2-inch display. It's got 32 gigs built on. It's based on the cloud. You get 100 gigs of cloud storage, which is fantastic. And it's got a pretty nice sized battery. I believe it's 2860 or 2760, something like that. It's a pretty nice sized battery. And then you've got this square body. You've got a fingerprint reader right here. Camera on front and rear with a huge LED dual tone flash. Little NextBit logo thing there when it lights up when things are going to the cloud, and very faint branding down there. Headphone jack and microphone up top. Then you've got a LED notification right here. You can't see it because it's not flashing right now, but then you've got your microphone and USB Type-C. And over here you've got these very flush volume buttons. So techie stuff out of the side, real world customer use. Here's what this phone did for me. So first let's go to build quality. Build quality on this phone can be uncomfortable when holding. Let's go to feel in hand and then build quality. So feel in hand, this is how we hold our phones. You see how that's digging into my inner palm there? But then when I hold other phones, it's soft, yeah. It's very soft, it's rounded. So that is the problem that I had with this phone. It's so square. Bumpy cam is so square that it's uncomfortable just after a short period of time for use. This phone is very uncomfortable from holding. It's just square, and it's weird because I have had Sony phones before, and they don't feel as square as this. And Sony phones are super square, and I don't know if that equates to something with the build quality. This phone is very thin. It's razor thin, as you can see there. But something about it, it just feels, and let's talk about the quality of the phone itself. It just feels cheap after extended use. The quality just doesn't match up to the premium hardware on some of the phones I just showed you. I don't know, the fingerprints just don't ever seem to go away, and I've never been bothered by fingerprints. But I gotta tell you, this thing just does not clean up well. It always looks dirty. It's so strange. It always looks dirty. I never had a phone that was a matte feel like this, that was matte like this, and always looked dirty. It just, I don't know what it is. It could be this color. I don't know, man. This phone just always looks like it needs to be cleaned. It just looks dirty 24/7. See, I just cleaned it off and there's already fingerprints and stuff back on it. That has never really bothered me on a phone too much, but I can honestly say this phone definitely bothers me with that. And I have a case, so I have to keep it in the case. And you know, if you know me, I don't like to wear a case around the house, but that's just what it is. This feels really cheap and almost like a toy next to the other hardware that I have in the house, these other phones. And I don't know what it is. It just, something about it, man. It doesn't match up for me. I don't know. These buttons right here are not very good. I have to always look at the phone to find out what I'm pressing. They are so flush. Check it out. Can you even see them? They are so flush. It's amazing how flush these things are to the phone. And then the power button is a fingerprint reader, which is completely flush. Like, you can't even see a bump or anything for the power button. That's a horrible implementation, by the way. Let's move to the fingerprint reader. This is one of the worst implementations of a fingerprint reader I have ever had on a phone. This thing works less than 40% of the time. It is bad. It's only reading a small portion of your finger every time. And then when you do it, you read it and then you push it and then you hold your finger and then it unlocks. As you can see, I don't even have it on here. I just have it disabled. That's how bad it is. It's not even worth turning on. It's just not good. And I'm not going to slam this phone if you think that's the way the review is going. Disclaimer, I'm just pointing out my negatives first. This has got to be just a horrible fingerprint reader. This thing is bad. I would not even recommend turning it on. There, I said it. Don't even turn it on. Just swipe up with a passcode or a pattern or something. Do that. Now, Another con is this rear camera. It's kind of a mild con. It takes great photos, but the video sometimes it just comes out like a blurry cam. I don't know what it is. It's clear, then it's blurry. Then it's clear, then it's blurry. Don't believe me? Go look at my video review of this phone. You're going to see the rear camera performs much weaker than the front camera. I don't know what it is. It's just that rear camera is a mixed bag, and I know it probably could be fixed with a software update. But another pet peeve: it doesn't have 30 frames per or 60 frames per second for 1080p, but it does have 4K, so that's a positive. This has a hexa-core processor, 808 processor, and 3 gigs of RAM, and so it performs very well. That's not a problem. But a software update definitely needs to do something with that camera. Now the front camera, on the other hand, the front camera is gravy train. This camera is great. It is just a good, solid front-facing camera, especially in outdoors. It's very nice, man. I don't think you'll be upset about this front camera at all. You can take some good front-facing photos, and the video quality is 1080p. It is good, folks. It's good. This does have USB Type-C, and this phone charges. And I'm going to shift to the battery now. This phone charges kind of fast. I don't use, when I have phones, I don't use the charging bricks that comes with them. I have a smart charger, and it has every setting to charge each device the fastest that it can be charged. It has like 10 outlets or 20 outlets on it. Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5. So got about 15 outlets on there. And so I have to keep all the cables and all the plugs over there, and I just plug in. I never use the charging brick that comes with the phone. And I just use my smart charger. And this phone actually charges pretty fast. In about an hour and 15 minutes, from about 5 or 6%, it's back at 100. Maybe less than that if I don't mess with it. So pretty fast charging phone. So when I talk about battery life, this phone actually surprised me. I was able to get over 6 hours of screen on time on a single day. And I'm averaging about 5 though. I got about 6 hours and 20 minutes or so at one point. But then the more I started to use the phone, and but this is still good for this phone. When you're not using this phone and it's at night and it's just sitting, this phone goes night. It's like Mike Tyson put him to sleep. It's that. Oh, hi Marvin. I had to do my Mike Tyson. It's like he put the battery to sleep. This phone is that good on standby. I mean, like, doze is in full effect. It's on 6.0.1. I didn't do the 7.0 beta. I'd rather just have the official update. I'm patient. You know how it is, guys. I don't have to rush and get the latest for software. But man, I'm telling you, this thing goes night. It is that good. Really good. Another positive that I like about this phone is these front-firing speakers. These front-firing speakers are super solid, and they're not Exxon 7 solid, but they are really loud. There are a lot of phones that are louder than the Exxon 7, but they're not as clear and punchy and don't have the full sound of the Exxon 7, and this is one of them. The NextBit Robin is an impressive phone. The fact that it has dual firing speakers is good, and that's a great highlight right there. So, yeah, the NextBit Robin is a phone that is almost like a mixed bag. The high point of this phone is they tout it as about the cloud, and that's great. I'm a cloud guy. I like to use the cloud when I can. The 100 gigs of cloud storage that I have on here, I used about 4%. Probably not even that. And then on the phone, I actually loaded this phone up with every game possible that I wouldn't even use because I don't play games on my phone. And I still had about 15 gigs left on the phone. I just don't need a lot of onboard storage for phones. I prefer to have that like on a tablet or a PC, something like that. Because I don't, believe it or not, all these phone reviews I do, I don't prioritize a phone first. It's hard to believe, right? I talk on the phone a lot. That's what I got a phone for. So, when comparing this phone next to some of my other phones, it doesn't measure up like it should, I think. And I just grabbed the closest phones to me. There's nothing in this review about these three battling or anything like that. It just doesn't, something about it, man, it just doesn't feel as premium. It just doesn't. It just doesn't do it for me like it did at the beginning. The design is eclectic. It's worth the $135 that I paid. The peak price on this phone that I would tell a person to buy it for is $169. If you can find it for $169 or less, buy it. The performance on here, something I didn't really touch on too much because I don't have a problem with the performance. It's good. Phone calls are good. Text messages and everything synced up over T-Mobile. The phone worked great. I've already traveled with it. LTE is flawless on here. Emails sync. Everything works great on there. Call quality is fantastic. Speakerphone is that's another thing that's kind of surprising. Speakerphone is not the strongest on a call, but when I listen to music, boom, it's good. So hey, it is what it is. But you know, I've pointed out the cons and things that I don't like about this phone, and I've pointed out the things that I do like. Overall, though, I give this phone about a 7 or so, maybe a 6.5, 7, solely because, you know, after we use our phones, we hold the phone, and this phone is very uncomfortable to hold. You know, the camera, the rear camera is a mixed bag. The fingerprint reader is just garbage, just horrible. The build quality is stale. It feels outdated. Like just holding these right here, it just feels outdated and stale. It just doesn't feel like a premium phone. And they did such a good job implementing the cloud. They gave it stock Android. It's just not something about it. It doesn't grab me anymore. And this is why I do the after the hype videos. Because in 3 to 4 days, you can kind of find out. And then in 2 weeks, you'll know how much you like a device or not. So, but no, this is a great phone. Yes, don't get me wrong. I will recommend it. I don't recommend that you spend more than $170 for it. Because that way, if it sits for a little bit, you won't feel too bad. And if you decide to sell it, you'll get about 100 to 120 of that back, you know? So, and honestly, that's probably where this thing is going. You know, it's probably not going to be a phone. I'm going to take my SIM card out of here and put it back into one of my other drivers. This kind of gets like the 5th spot in my, like I'm going to use, well actually no, it moves down to about the 7th spot as a phone that I would use, like put a SIM card in. And I only have 4 lines, so obviously it's not getting a SIM card. So that means it'll sit idle for a while. And then if a review or an update comes out, then, oh, let me power it back on and let me play with it every now. Or so I'll leave downstairs on the counter if I want to watch a video by the kitchen counter. So I don't know. It's just not a phone that I would use personally day to day, but I do recommend it because remember, I'm all for the average consumer, and this is a high-powered phone to an average consumer. The software is near stock. It performs very well. If you notice, I don't have any problems with crashes and reboots or anything like that. None of that has happened. I like the front camera a whole bunch. I like the speakers. It's just you get lots of memory. It's good. But for me, for all the phones that I have that are priced or that are in the same bracket, like the 5.2 inch display area, or, just period, just build quality. There's just too many things about this phone that take it down a notch for a daily driven phone. So, hey, the NextBit Robin is hot. It's a good phone. I recommend it to people. Just don't pay more. My recommendation, if you're going to get this phone, I wouldn't pay. And I'm telling you what I would do. That's why I jumped on it for $135. But I wouldn't recommend you pay more than $170. Now, my numbers are just my numbers. Those aren't final. Oh, wait, Jay Will said don't do that. No, it's nothing like that. I'm telling you the way I feel. I would not recommend spending more than $170 for the Robin, because there are way too many other phones. You start to get up into Honor category. You start to get up into J7 category. You start to get up into ZTE Z Max Pro category. You get too far up, and this phone, no, nah. So it's your man Jay Will. I give this about a 6.5, 7. That's still pretty good, right? NextBit, you did pretty good. You're good. I'll see you in the next one, guys.